Hey everyone, it's Beth, aka the Fitness Princess, and I am here today to finish out the series called Journey to Jesus. And I want to chat with you a little bit about freedom. Now, I'm a little reluctant to share this just because I'm still learning this, and I don't have it all figured out. And there are people who are way ahead of me in this game, but I can share with you what I have been learning, and that's all I can do right now. If you are just now joining me for this series, I would encourage you to go back and to either read the blogs that I have posted or to listen to the videos as I've shared my journey of faith and fitness and how Jesus fits into it all. And today's the last installment that I want to share with you. And I am just before I start, I just want to say how grateful I am for the grace of Jesus that he gives, because I am a work in progress. I am human like everyone else. I make mistakes. I don't have a perfect day. Today actually was a really bad day to start with. I had to put myself in timeout because I had a bad attitude. Bad things were happening and it was just not good. So I struggle too. And I prayed today that I could just have a better day, and God gave me a better attitude after that. So I'm thankful for his grace that covers me. And after receiving that grace, our belief in him is made stronger of what he can do, what his power can do for us. And it's after that that our behavior changes. And I have seen that today in my own life. And so we don't have to come to him completely perfect. We don't have to be 100% clean before we kneel at the throne of God, because he makes us clean. And I've been learning that as I trust and as I obey him, that he enables me to speak for him, to live for him, and to work for him. And that is an incredible thing. We can trust in his strength to empower us to do the things that he's called us to do, no matter how scary they are. And actually, this is pretty scary, sharing about freedom in Christ, because I'm still learning it. I don't have it all figured out, but he can give us the strength that we need to do those things that he calls us to do. I started this journey a long time ago. I grew up in a Christian home. My parents, not a day went by without talking about God, how God has worked in our life, how, whatever we learn as kids growing up. And at 10, I gave my life to him. I was baptized and, became part of the family of God. And then life got crazy. And it was truly the trial of Granny passing away that had to bring me back to him. And I truly believe that every trial we face, God has appointed that for us for our own good. It makes us stronger because we have to rely on him. I definitely don't believe that God gives us, how am I going to say it? God gives us more than we can handle. He does give us more than we can handle, because if we could handle it on our own, we wouldn't need him. And there have been times I have been dealt cards that I needed him to get me through. And so those trials have made me stronger, but in return, it's for his glory as well. We can use those for his glory. And part of living in the freedom that Christ gives us is so that we can be vulnerable and that we can share how God is working in our lives. We can use the situations and experiences that we've had to go through to share with other people. And being vulnerable is not fun. It's kind of scary, But like I said, God empowers us. His strength empowers us so that we can share those hard, scary things with others. I want to share another verse with you about living a surrendered life. Living in freedom that God gives us is about living a surrendered life. And I want to share, it's Luke chapter 9, verse 23 and 24. If anyone would come after me, he must deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me. For whoever wants to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for me will save it. So we have to deny ourselves daily. I struggle with this. So many times I want things for my own glory. I want, my own selfish ways get in between me and God. And so I have to deny myself daily. I have to give up those things so that I can live a fully surrendered life to Him. So freedom, what does that mean to me? My freedom may be something different than your freedom. I think it really depends on the situations that you've had to experience in your own life and what that freedom can really mean. But we can live a life of freedom from sin first and foremost, because God sent His Son Jesus to die on that cross for us. And as we get closer to Easter, we're going to be talking about that more. But we can live a life that we don't have to be afraid of where we're going to spend eternity. Living in my freedom is knowing that when I became a believer, I am a new creation. So we talked about that a little earlier, about how along comes the new emotions, the new attitudes, the new everything. So I live my life as a new creation. I can live in a way knowing that I am forgiven and that I can forgive others because I am forgiven. Living a surrendered life in my freedom is living with Him at the center and relying on Him, praying about every detail of my life, doing everything for His glory. And this is a hard one for me because I have pride that gets in my way. I have selfishness that gets in my way. And those are things that I struggle with on a daily basis that I have to continually give to Him so that I can live a surrendered life. And there are days that I do not do a good job of it. And another thing that I have had to learn on my own fitness journey is living in my freedom is not believing who the world says that I am. It's finding my true worth in Christ and who He says I am. And He calls me a princess. And that's kind of where the fitness princess came from. And so I can live in that freedom, in that knowing my life is His. And He can do what He wants with it, essentially to give Him glory. So again, I say this is such a hard topic for me to talk about, because if you ask me in a couple years, I'm sure it's going to change. And as we grow in the Lord, it probably will change. There are different things that we're going to be going through. I'm sure that if I ever become a mother, it's going to change. And so I think the topic of freedom in Christ is going to change with every circumstance and situation that we go through. But that is what it means to me right now at this moment in my life. And it is something that I will forever be working on, is living in my freedom and hoping that I can live a life that glorifies God and that He will just completely be at the center of. And so the last three phases that I talked about aren't really phases. They're just things that I can continually work on and grow on. So I guess that concludes my journey to Jesus. I hope that if you have been able to either read my blogs or listen to the videos, if you need to be encouraged, if you need to be prayed for, I hope that you will reach out to me. I would love to pray for you. I would love to be able to encourage you. And if this is something that you struggle with, I would love to talk to you more about it. So I hope you guys are having a great day. I will talk to you later, and go live in your freedom.